The Army Corps of Engineers is involved in infrastructure, water resource management, flood risk mitigation, navigation, and also disaster response. In accordance with the state of California asking the federal government for assistance following this disaster, we are here under federal authorities working for FEMA as the government agency overseeing the entire disaster response. And so we work hand in hand with all the partners at federal agencies, also the state and local agencies here as well. And so we're here to respond to this natural disaster for the sake of public health and safety. Debris removal right now is considered a two-phase process. So phase one, the lead on that was the Environmental Protection Agency, and the EPA has been on the ground now for well over a month, and that is to take all the household hazardous materials at all these sites, take them from an uncontrolled environment and bring them to a controlled environment. When phase one is complete, we work with the EPA to transition to phase two, and that is the retrieval of the rest of the materials that you see on these properties. That's the two-phase process. Every property is unique. Every property we do a site assessment. We receive a solid handover from the EPA after they've done their important work. And then we look at that property holistically and we start separating waste streams. And so that would be recyclable metals, clean concrete, asbestos, green waste, and then finally fire ash and debris. All of our personnel on site, there's personal protective equipment to protect them during the separation of these materials. We completely saturate the site with water to keep any sort of particles from entering the air. We monitor the site as well with air monitoring systems around the site as we're performing the collection. Those materials are separated into the appropriate waste stream. A Super 10 Tier 4, Tier 5 truck, and that's a really heavy plastic wrap that the material gets encapsulated into with a secondary cover that goes on top of that. And we take those to designated facilities for that type of waste stream. This is a ramp-up process. We're going to see those crews continue to increase. It really is the receipt of those rights of entry that we're able to go on property and then collect material. So the more folks that opt in, the quicker and more efficiently we can go about collecting these waste streams and getting them from an uncontrolled environment to a controlled environment. We're in the early stages of that process right now, and we look forward to seeing that ramp up and increase more every day.